Learn English through story. A dangerous game. In the bustling city of Eldridge, where ambition thrived like a wild vine, there was a group of elite individuals who met regularly to indulge in their shared passion, high-stakes gambling. They called themselves the Syndicate. Within their opulent meeting hall, adorned with glimmering chandeliers and plush velvet drapes, the air was thick with the scent of expensive cigars and the sound of clinking glasses. The Syndicate had a reputation for not only playing cards but for pushing boundaries in pursuit of thrills and fortune. At the center of this exclusive circle was Victor Albright, a charismatic and shrewd businessman known for his unparalleled poker skills. Victor had a magnetic presence that drew others in, and his piercing blue eyes seemed to see through every bluffed hand. He thrived in the world of risk and reward, reveling in the adrenaline that came with each game. For Victor, gambling was not merely a game of chance, it was an art form, a delicate dance between psychology and skill. One fateful evening, as the Syndicate gathered for their usual meeting, a newcomer arrived, a mysterious figure clad in a tailored black suit and a dark fedora. The air shifted as whispers spread through the room, curiosity piquing at the identity of this enigmatic player. Victor's eyes narrowed as he assessed the stranger, who exuded an aura of confidence that was both intriguing and unsettling. "Ladies and gentlemen," Victor announced, his voice cutting through the chatter. "Allow me to introduce our guest for the evening, a man known only as Larkin. He has come from far and wide to join us in our little game." Larkin tipped his hat slightly, revealing sharp features and an unsettling smile. "Thank you for the introduction, Victor. I've heard much about the Syndicate, and I'm eager to experience the thrill of your games." The members of the Syndicate exchanged glances, intrigued by Larkin's boldness. It was customary for new players to prove their worth before being allowed to participate in the high-stakes games that often left some players shattered and others walking away with fortunes. "What stakes do you propose, Larkin?" Victor inquired, his interest piqued. "Let's raise the stakes," Larkin replied, his voice low and steady. "I propose a game of chance, but with a twist, a dangerous game where the outcome could alter lives forever." A murmur of excitement rippled through the room. Dangerous games were what the Syndicate thrived on, and the allure of an unpredictable challenge sent adrenaline coursing through their veins. Victor leaned forward, intrigued. "What do you have in mind?" Larkin smiled, a glint of mischief in his eyes. "We will each draw a card from this deck, but each card holds a different consequence. Some will bring wealth, others will lead to significant loss, and a few may even lead to something far more perilous. The game is simple. Draw a card, face its outcome, and dare to gamble your fate." The Syndicate's members exchanged glances, weighing the risks and rewards. It was Victor who finally spoke, a spark of excitement igniting within him. "I'm in." "Let's see what you've got, Larkin." One by one, the members of the Syndicate agreed to participate, each eager to test their fate against the unknown. The stakes were set high, and the thrill of the game overshadowed any apprehensions. Larkin shuffled the deck, the cards gliding through his fingers with a practiced ease. The anticipation hung heavy in the air, as if time itself had slowed in the face of uncertainty. "Ladies first," Larkin said, gesturing to a woman named Isabella, known for her beauty and cunning strategies. She stepped forward, her heart racing with excitement and fear. With a steady hand, she drew a card from the deck. As she turned it over, a gasp escaped her lips. "The King of Hearts," she said, her voice trembling. "What does it mean?" Larkin's smile widened. "The King of Hearts represents love and fortune. You shall receive a sum of $1 million. But you must also choose someone to share it with. If you fail to do so within the next hour, You will lose everything." Isabella's eyes sparkled with disbelief. $1 million was no small fortune, and the idea of sharing it with someone felt like a weighty decision. As the clock began ticking, she quickly scanned the room, searching for someone who could share in her newfound wealth. One by one, the other members of the syndicate took their turns. Each drew a card, facing outcomes that ranged from financial gain to life-altering decisions. Some reveled in their fortunes, while others were left speechless as they faced devastating losses. The atmosphere in the room oscillated between jubilance and despair. Finally, it was Victor's turn. The tension in the air was palpable as he reached for a card, fully aware of the risks that lay ahead. With a confident flick, he drew the card and revealed it to the group. "The Ace of Spades," he declared, a triumphant smile gracing his lips. Larkin's expression shifted, a shadow passing over his face. "Ah, the Ace of Spades. It signifies power, but it comes with a heavy cost. You are granted a choice. You may take $1 million, but you must give up something of equal value. Your career, your relationships, or your freedom. Choose wisely." Victor's heart raced as he processed the weight of Larkin's words. He could envision the wealth, the possibilities it would bring, but at what cost? Would he truly sacrifice everything he had worked for? The silence in the room felt suffocating as he contemplated his options. After what felt like an eternity, Victor made his decision. "I'll take the $1 million. But I'll sacrifice my relationship with my estranged brother. We've been at odds for years, and I can no longer carry the burden of that animosity." Larkin nodded, his eyes glinting with approval. "Very well. The deal is struck." The room erupted in a mix of astonished gasps and murmurs. Victor had chosen to sacrifice a familial bond for the sake of wealth, and though the others admired his courage, a sense of foreboding lingered in the air. As the game continued, more cards were drawn, each revealing the complexities of desire, sacrifice, and ambition. Larkin remained an enigmatic figure, watching intently as the syndicate faced the consequences of their choices. Hours passed, and as the night drew to a close, the atmosphere shifted. Victor had amassed a considerable fortune, but he felt an emptiness growing within him. The thrill of winning had faded, replaced by an uncomfortable sense of guilt. He had sacrificed a bond that had once meant everything to him, and the weight of that decision pressed heavily on his heart. Before leaving, Larkin addressed the group one last time. "Remember, this was merely a game, but the choices you've made tonight will follow you." The dangerous game we played tonight was not just about cards, it was about understanding the price of your desires. Beware the cost of ambition, for it can lead you down a path of isolation and regret. With that, Larkin tipped his hat and vanished into the night, leaving the syndicate to grapple with the consequences of their actions. As days turned into weeks, Victor found himself unable to shake off the lingering feelings of guilt. His newfound wealth felt like a gilded cage, trapping him in a world of superficial relationships and empty victories. He distanced himself from his brother, convincing himself that the sacrifice was worth it, but deep down, he yearned for reconciliation. One evening, as he wandered through the streets of Eldridge, Victor stumbled upon a small art gallery. A striking painting caught his eye, a portrayal of two figures reaching out to one another, but separated by a dark chasm. The image struck a chord within him, reflecting the isolation he had created in his life. Compelled by an urge he couldn't explain, Victor entered the gallery. As he explored the exhibits, he discovered that the artist was none other than Isabella, the woman who had drawn the King of Hearts. Their paths had crossed once again, and this time, he felt an undeniable urge to connect. "Isabella," he called, stepping closer to her, I'm sorry for how I acted during the game. I let my ambition blind me to what truly matters." She turned, surprise dancing in her eyes. "Victor, I didn't expect to see you here." "I've been reflecting on our game," he admitted. "The stakes were high, and I lost sight of what truly matters. I sacrificed my brother for a fleeting moment of power, and it haunts me." Isabella's expression softened. "It's easy to get lost in the thrill of ambition, but true fulfillment comes from connection. I learned that lesson the hard way as well." Victor nodded, feeling a sense of kinship with Isabella. They had both faced the consequences of their choices, and in that shared experience, he felt a flicker of hope. "I want to mend things with my brother, but I don't know how." "Start by reaching out," Isabella suggested gently. "Take the first step." Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. It's never too late to rebuild what was broken. Encouraged by her words, Victor felt a renewed sense of purpose. He left the gallery with a determination to seek his brother, to confront the mistakes he had made and to reclaim the bond they once shared. Days turned into weeks as Victor worked up the courage to reach out. He wrote a heartfelt letter to his brother, pouring out his feelings and expressing his desire to reconnect. After much anticipation, he finally received a response. His brother agreed to meet. The day of their meeting arrived, and Victor's heart raced with a mix of anxiety and hope. As he entered the cafe copyright where they had agreed to meet, he spotted his brother seated at a corner table. Their eyes met, and Victor felt the weight of years of estrangement hanging heavily in the air. "Hey," Victor said, his voice barely above a whisper as he took a seat across from his brother. "Hey," his brother replied, his expression guarded. "I know I've hurt you," Victor began, his heart pounding. "I've let my ambition and pride come between us, and I'm truly sorry. I sacrificed our relationship for wealth, thinking it would fill a void, but it hasn't. I miss you." For a moment, silence enveloped them, thick with unresolved tension. Then, to Victor's surprise, his brother nodded slowly. "I've missed you too, Victor. It's been hard without you in my life." Victor felt a surge of emotion as he heard those words. "I want to make things right. I don't want to lose you again." His brother studied him, searching for sincerity. "It's going to take time to rebuild trust. You can't just expect everything to go back to the way it was." "I understand," Victor replied earnestly. "I'm willing to put in the effort. I want to be there for you, no matter the cost." With those words, the walls they had both built around themselves began to crumble. They talked for hours, sharing memories, laughter, and tears. The bond that had once felt irreparably broken began to mend, thread by thread. In the weeks that followed, Victor and his brother met regularly, working to heal the wounds of their past. Victor learned to prioritize relationships over ambition, embracing vulnerability as a source of strength. He found solace in the connections he rebuilt, discovering that true wealth lay not in material possessions but in the love and support of family. As time passed, Victor also sought out Isabella again, grateful for the lessons she had shared. Their friendship blossomed into something deeper, built on a foundation of mutual understanding and respect. They became partners in both art and life, supporting one another as they navigated their aspirations. The syndicate continued to operate in their lavish meeting hall, but Victor had distanced himself from their reckless pursuits. He realized that the dangerous game they played was not worth the price of lost connections. Instead, he channeled his energy into supporting emerging artists, using his wealth to create opportunities for those who struggled to find their voices. With Isabella by his side, he organized art exhibitions that showcased the talent of local artists, emphasizing the importance of community and collaboration. Victor's journey had transformed him, and he found fulfillment in nurturing the creativity of others. Larkin's words echoed in his mind, "Beware the cost of ambition." Victor understood now that ambition, when unchecked, could lead to isolation and regret. But when tempered with empathy and connection, it could become a powerful force for positive change. As the years went by, Victor and Isabella built a life together filled with love, laughter, and creativity. They supported one another's dreams, celebrating each victory and comforting each other through challenges. Victor had learned that the true essence of a fulfilling life lay not in high-stakes games but in the relationships he had nurtured along the way. On a warm summer evening, Victor stood in front of a canvas in their shared studio, paintbrush in hand. He had invited his brother to join them for a special event, a gallery showcasing their collaborative work. As he painted, he reflected on the journey that had brought him here. The door swung open, and Isabella entered, her face lighting up the room. "Are you ready for tonight?" she asked, her excitement infectious. Victor smiled, his heart swelling with gratitude. "I am. I can't believe how far we've come." "Neither can I," she replied, stepping closer. "But it's not just about the art, is it? It's about the connections we've built along the way." "Exactly," Victor said, pausing to admire the painting before him. "It's a celebration of love, family, and the journey of self-discovery. It's a reminder of the choices we made and the lessons we learned." As the sun set, casting a warm golden glow over the room, Victor felt a sense of peace wash over him. He had faced the dangers of ambition and emerged stronger, wiser, and more connected than ever before. The dangerous game he had once played had taught him the value of relationships and the importance of embracing vulnerability. The gallery event unfolded that evening, filled with laughter, joy, and camaraderie. Friends, family, and fellow artists gathered to celebrate the beauty of creativity and connection. Victor watched as his brother and Isabella mingled with guests, their laughter ringing in his ears. In that moment, Victor knew he had chosen wisely. The dangerous game had revealed the fragility of life, and in navigating its twists and turns, he had found a path to true fulfillment. He raised a glass, toasting to the love and support that had surrounded him. "To the dangerous game," he said, his voice filled with conviction, "for it taught me the true meaning of life, that love and connection are the greatest risks we can take, and in embracing them, we unlock the beauty that resides within us all." As the room erupted in cheers, Victor felt a sense of joy and belonging that he had never known before. He had transformed from a man consumed by ambition to one who understood the profound impact of relationships. In the end, it wasn't the cards he had drawn or the stakes he had gambled that mattered. It was the love, connection, and art he had created along the way. And so, the story of Victor Albright became a reminder to all who heard it, that life is a dangerous game, but it is one worth playing if we are brave enough to embrace the connections that define us and the choices that shape our destinies. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.